Tell me you hate me, baby. I wonder if this channel's like somewhat restricted. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, really curious to see like if this makes any difference. Not posting on my main. Something's clearly fucking way wrong, dude. Wish I could get my freaking good camera to work. It ain't gonna fucking work. Oh, yeah, well.
And then unfortunately, I called Pete and I said, let's talk. We got a problem in the Middle East. We have a country known as Iran that for 47 years has been just a purveyor of terror. And they're very close to having a nuclear weapon. Pete, I think you were the first one to speak up. And you said, let's do it. We do have some big things happening and very positive, I have to say. So before getting to our important discussion, this morning, let me provide a brief update on Operation Epic Fury, which is a very good name, as it turns out. That was a name. They showed me 20 names, sir. What name would you like? I didn't like any of them. And then I get toward the end, I said, you got to be kidding. What? Operation Epic Fury. I love that name. And it's very appropriate for what's taken place, if you know, in Iran because we knocked out their Navy, we knocked out their Air Force, we knocked out their anti-aircraft, we knocked out everything. And we did it with fury, actually. As I announced earlier, based on preliminary conversations between the United States and Iran over the past 2 days, I've directed the Department of War to temporarily postpone planned strikes against major energy and electricity targets in Iran. They have
I might die on this shirt, okay?
new, actually, and very expensive, billions of dollars it costs to build them. One missile, one of our powerful weapons,
he's a
it comes down to the
pedophile, for
ground
sure.
like
We
it
know
was
this
made
man
out
is a
of
pedophile
dust.
piece of shit. At the
But
very
to
least, he
determine
protects
whether
him.
a broader agreement can be reached, we've
Where the fuck did Yayo go?
had very good discussions, very, very good discussions. And you have to understand, I know my whole life has been a negotiation, but with Iran, we've been negotiating for a long time. And this time, they mean business.
Thank you, Global.
And it's only because of the great job that our military did is the reason they mean business. They want to settle, and we're going to get it done, I hope.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
So,
Dude.
hopefully this will be possible, but no matter what, we'll ensure that Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon. They can't have a nuclear weapon. They would have had one if we allowed the Obama.
What's up, Sam? What's up, K? Anybody else? How you doing? I'm kind of just this is more of a backup channel that I'm using here. My main channel is like so fucking restricted right now. I'm trying to do like a content reboot, let it sit for like 30 days, I guess it helps, and you don't post anything on a channel for 30 days. It does like content reset. Man, we went from like massive growth over on my main to like none. It's insane.
The deal to stand, that was the Iran nuclear deal, they called it. They would have had one. Marcia 3. Well, I tell you what, Martha, we would have nuclear weapons up there when, would you say, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or 4 years ago? We would have been in a position that nobody wants to be in. We won't allow ourselves to be in that position. Over the past 3 weeks, the United States military and our partners have been decimating Iran's military capabilities with overwhelming firepower, skill, lethality, and force, and we're destroying their ballistic missiles and drones programs with launchers down by more than 90%. We're hitting their launches at a level that nobody even thought of before. 90%. They can't launch them, and they don't have very many of them because most of them have been annihilated. But we've annihilated their defense industrial base.
Oh, Mr. Mosen. I support Trump. I'm snitching on every illegal immigrant. Okay, bro. You do you, big guy. You sound like a real badass motherfucker, man. Out here snitching on fucking immigrants and shit. Like, what you doing, man? What's wrong with you? Don't be such a dipshit. It's not cool, bro.
Eliminating their Navy. We had 158 ships are down. I said to my people, why didn't you capture the ship? I said, were they good or not? They said, they were great, sir. So why didn't you capture? We could have used them. They said, it's more fun to put them at the bottom of the sea. But they're not there anymore. So we eliminated their Navy, Pete, right? And that's gone. We eliminated their Air Force. We eliminated all of their air defense, everything. We eliminated everything there is to eliminate, and we eliminated them. We eliminated their leaders. We had the first set of leaders. They're gone. Then they met, 88 people met. And it's sad. I mean, it's sad they couldn't have made a deal. We could have made a deal with them a long time ago. Then the second set, 88 people met to pick a new leader. And they're now extinguished. And then they're meeting again, but now nobody wants to be the leader. It's one of the few political jobs that nobody wants anywhere in the world. Nobody wants it. It's a very dangerous job. My job is dangerous too, but their job is worse. In other words, we're systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America. They're not threatening us anymore. As Commander-in-Chief, it's my sacred responsibility to protect our country from all threats For decades, Iran refused every opportunity to renounce its nuclear ambitions, and in recent months, its own negotiators bragged to our representatives about having enough material to make nuclear weapons. And that was supposed to deter me, but it didn't deter. It made me more anxious, and it just made it much more important. This mission that we're all on together was much more important, and we did it quicker. Iran's missile capabilities were also growing so fast that it would soon have become virtually impossible to stop them. Once they have a missile, once they have what they were building was incredible. And you got a little glimpse of it by the fact that when they came out, they started shooting all of their neighbors. Their neighbors weren't fighting with them. They were getting along okay with their neighbors. And I was surprised. Everybody was surprised. And it actually worked in reverse because their neighbors then turned against them. Now Iran has one more opportunity to end its threats to America and our allies, and we hope they take it. Either way, America and the entire world will soon be much safer and will be a much more secure planet. In addition to all of this, we're working on so many different things. You know, our economy was fantastic. We had a Dow at 50,000. They say it couldn't happen in 4 years. It wouldn't happen during my term. But if I got anywhere close, it would be a great success. Well, in my first year, we hit 50,000. And
so we have a great success story on our hands here, y'all. Oh, you know what, Devin? I don't know. I don't think I have any mods. I don't know that I have any mods on this channel. But I got you back on there. What the fuck? Where did my shit go? He is full of shit. I mean, he's just constantly saying some fucking bullshit, period. It's so frustrating and annoying.
With the S&P, they said even more difficult. They said it would be impossible to hit 7,000 on the S&P, and we hit that in our first term. And then, unfortunately, I called Pete, I called General Kane, I called a lot of our great people. We have great people, and I said, let's talk. We got a problem in the Middle East. We have a country known as Iran that for 47 years has been just a purveyor of terror, and they're very close to having a nuclear weapon. We can keep going and get that 50,000 up to 760 is no end, or we can take a stop and make a little journey into the Middle East and eliminate a big problem. And Pete, I think you were the first one to speak up, and you said, let's do it, because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon. So we are now having really good discussions. They started last night, a little bit, the night before that. And I think they're very good. They want peace. They've agreed they will not have a nuclear weapon, et cetera, et cetera. But we'll see. You have to get it done. But I would.
Motherfuckers been saying they're gonna have a nuclear weapon my whole entire life. They're 2 weeks away from a damn nuke. My entire life. I wish I knew, Devin. It's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid. How anybody supports this piece of shit. Oh, yeah. The Dow right now is 50,000, y'all. Let's check this shit out. It's so funny.
Since the dawn of time, stories have connected us. Open art brings the tools to the storytellers of today.
I don't really like that.
Creating a character is simple. Whether it's from a sentence or a single image, open art brings your vision to life. But that's just the beginning. Once your character is created, you can use it in any story or setting with perfect consistency. With OpenArt's 3D pose editor, you can adjust your character.
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is true, so help you God?
I do.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even?
The Dow.
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how it's been.
Dude, whoever makes these fucking videos is a legend. Oh, shit. It's so funny. Man, it's going to be hard, Devin, to not go live on my main. Like, it sucks. But I feel like something is just so wrong over there. Like, not being able to break more than 30 concurrent viewers is, like, really sad. Considering we were, like, to 300 and 500 concurrent viewers and just growing steadily. And now we can't break 30. What the fuck?
Let me address the survivors, because that's
How is the Dow?
Will you turn to the survivors? This is not about
How is the Dow?
Co-conspirators fully redacted. Who's responsible? Are you able to track it? The survivors gave testimony to the FBI. Files pulled from the website that we will never see. The DOJ released photos of victims. Didn't want to be known. Who released the things and redacted the men they implicate?
you're spending more resources arresting journalists and prosecuting critics. Your boss stated that this administration, quote, took the freedom of speech.
Come on, the Dow right now.
God damn it. This bitch. I'm sorry, but she is just the worst. I can't stomach her actual voice.
It's over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at over 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow? How is the Dow?
You're covering up the
How is the Dow?
the crimes that have taken place.
Over 50,000.
Secretary Lutnick's ties
How
to
is the Dow?
what does the Dow have to do with anything? Are you kidding? That's what they just asked. You sit here and attack, but we have.
Wow. I mean, she is such a bitch, dude. I just can't take her, dude. I guarantee you, these people are so soft-skinned, I guarantee she's seen it. She probably cries about it daily.
Smashing us. The Dow right now is over.
What's funny is this chick right here is actually Pam Bondi's like assistant or some shit. And the looks she gives Pam Bondi in this hearing are fucking epic.
50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow? How is
God, I just don't understand how people support these fucking cunts. I just can't stand any of these people. They're so fucked.
Will you unredact this?
How is the Dow?
I just want you to answer.
Over 50,000.
What's the message we're sending?
How is the Dow? Fully redacted. How is the Dow?
Are you able to track it?
How is the Dow?
Are you able to track it, yo? See, I can't really watch SNL. Yeah, he's such a piece of shit. What was I just about to look up?
In this video, Joe and Michael Schellenberger get into an increasingly heated debate over the Epstein files. Make sure to stay tuned to the end.
Inside those emails, we find a lot of creepy shit. We find that one description where he was talking to this woman, where she said, "I'm doing investigating a story about an island where they bring children for sex," and he goes, "She almost had a heart attack when I told her that person is me."
Well, he was talking about the rumors and gossip
Yes.
about him, but he wasn't saying that he's bringing children to his island for sex.
But that is what he said. But if you look at the
No, he
text,
said they're talking about me.
No. She said, I'm doing a story on a guy who brings children to his island for sex. And he says she almost had a heart attack when I told her that person is me.
The person that my
You're being
interpretation
charitable.
Of it, I'm not. Well,
but you're being charitable because that's not what the text says.
Jamie actually never pulls it up, so here's the email. I'll read it.
Damn, I've never actually seen Jamie. The first time I've seen Jamie, I think.
Text says
Jamie actually never.
It's not how I imagine Jamie to look, actually. Yeah, that's the first time I think I've ever seen him.
Pulls it up, so here's the email. I'll read it out. Your friend Aleza told me that the project she is doing, researching a really bad guy that gets children for sex sent to his island, she almost fainted when I told her that person is me. Is there any other way to interpret that? Even look at the next email that says the following. She was doing a VR movie, not researching anyone. Interesting that this part appeared in your conversation. This is then followed up by, she is very emotional, while kind, loving, and sharp. I think you can become friends too. It sounds like an admission of guilt to me. Just for more context, Masha Drokova worked as a publicist for Epstein attempting to rehabilitate his image. She was also his Silicon Valley fixer, acting as an intermediary, introducing Epstein to prominent tech founders and investors.
Yeah.
He didn't say, I told her that's a bullshit rumor. I let her know that's not true.
But that's very much in his style. I mean, look, let's back up to the intelligence.
But wait a minute. Why would you dismiss
we can pull it up and look at it. I just think I think what we see from the files, and I think Mike Benz has sort of pointed out the ways in which Epstein might have been a contractor or a financier or somebody hiding money for the intelligence community. Beyond that, I don't see any evidence that he was doing much for the intelligence community, if at all.
But you're only getting emails and only half of the emails, right? So there's only 3 million emails that have been released.
Yeah.
There's another 3 million that the FBI possesses that they're not releasing, right?
100%. It's possible.
So we're
that there's something there.
Why would you draw any conclusions based on only 50% of the data? And then if there is 50% of the data that hasn't been released, why? Is that way worse? Because this stuff is fucking nuts.
Joe has a point. Why would Michael Schellenberger take such a hard stance? There's really only one reason I can think of, and it's probably the same thing you're thinking too.
There are so many different attorneys, people at the FBI, people in the Eastern District, the Southern District, the Florida Southern District. They would all have to be in on it. And I'm skeptical because
why
FBI,
would they all have to be in on it?
Well, because they're reviewing the information. They're trying to bring, they're trying to bring action against them.
It depends on who are the powerful people that are implicated and what kind of influence they have over what gets released and what doesn't get released. Clearly, names were redacted that are powerful people that are not victims. So that shows you right there that there's some influence.
But there's a reason to do that.
Why?
Because they're not guilty.
Okay, what about the one where Epstein says, I like the torture video?
This email is pretty interesting because recently it surfaced that Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, who is the former CEO of DP World, a Dubai-owned global ports and logistics giant, and one of the major figures in the development of Dubai's infrastructure. He's allegedly the person redacted in the email.
He probably did. I think someone did find the torture video.
Why would you redact the name of the person who sent you a torture video if you're not trying to protect a powerful person?
Yeah, that's the Sultan. Is that right?
Okay, but that was someone had to just figure that out.
I mean, look, the redactions are sloppy.
But that's no. That's evidence that you're trying to protect a powerful person.
Well, but they didn't though in a lot of cases.
But they did right there.
Yeah, I mean, the redactions, they were making them. I mean, it was like...
You will never believe it. I was actually able to find a live video of what's happening in Michael Schellenberger's brain right now. Let's check it out.
Possibly go for broke this time too. Full in straight, double straight.
Look, these are people I don't like. I'll just be honest. Like, if part of me hesitated because I don't like Larry Summers. I don't like Bill Gates. I don't care about Sarah Ferguson. I didn't say anything. Then they came for Peter Attia. It's a little bit like Peter Attia, he didn't do anything wrong, and he just lost his job with CBS, and he's sort of now they're under this cloud, and people go, oh, but he was in the hospital, and he was with Epstein, his wife was in the hospital. We don't what are we doing here? We're getting involved in Peter Attia's like personal life. And so, but he has to get fired for that. I mean,
so let me get this straight. Michael's stance is seemingly based on his friend Peter Attia getting canceled for being in the emails. His name appeared in the Epstein files 1,741 times. Let's review some of what he said in these emails to see if there was anything creepy said. First one, you know the biggest problem with becoming friends with you? The life you lead is so outrageous, and yet I can't tell a soul. Second one, pussy is, indeed, low carb. Still awaiting results on gluten content, though. Third one, no. Thank you so much. See you next time. Hopefully JE in town when I'm back in 2 weeks. I go into JE withdrawal when I don't see him. That's not creepy at all.
I mean, I'm glad the files were released. There was definitely problems with the redactions. There was also a case where the members of Congress were trying to get stuff redacted. Names got redacted of people that, like, I know in one case, there were people that were getting licenses for guns that had nothing to do with Epstein on a list. In another case, other people's names were revealed who were not, guilty of anything. So that's why you protect those people. I think you go, everybody, the logic right now is that anybody who had any interaction with Epstein had to have known of all the abuse he was doing.
No, it's not the people that had any fucking interaction with the dude. It's fucking anybody that partied with him like on a regular basis. Yes. Those people can be fucking, they can all eat shit. Jesus.
Okay,
and are somehow responsible for
but a
it.
lot
I
of
think
these,
that's not right.
Okay, but a lot of these people were hanging out with him and doing business with him after he was arrested.
That's crazy, dude.
So this is all
Okay, so then,
and it was very public.
Okay, but okay, so then, what is our view of people that do the crime and serve the time? I mean, the left view has been that.
Stop right there. He didn't serve any time. Do you
he
know?
He served a year.
Okay, he did not go to jail for a year. He did house arrest.
Yes,
it was a very sweetheart deal.
Let me break it down with more accuracy. In June 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty to 2 state felony charges, soliciting prostitution and soliciting prostitution from a person under the age of 18. He was sentenced to 18 months in jail as part of a controversial non-prosecution agreement that allowed him to avoid federal charges. He served only about 13 months, released on July 22, 2009, much of it under a lenient work release program that let him leave the Palm Beach County Jail for up to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to go to his office.
And the prosecuting attorney or whoever it was told that he was intelligence, and this is why they were giving him this.
By the way, I looked into that.
Yeah,
that we looked into that one, and that was heard secondhand. So that wasn't even heard from Acosta directly. Someone said that they heard Acosta say that, and they told Vicky Ward, and I believe her source is anonymous.
Yeah.
So that's weak.
Michael is actually correct on this one. The widely circulated allegation comes from a 2019 Daily Beast article by journalist Vicky Ward, based on an anonymous source who claimed that during Acosta's vetting interviews for Trump's labor secretary position around 2016 to 2017, Acosta explained the 2008 deal by saying he had been told to back off because Epstein belonged to intelligence and it was above his pay grade. Alex Acosta, who was the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida at the time, denies these claims.
I think the final thing on Epstein that kind of made me question is that I, like a lot of other people, had assumed that someone murdered him. But you start looking at the evidence for that. He attempted suicide, I believe 18 days before.
18 days before, he said that his roommate tried to kill him. Did you know that? Do you know his roommate was a cop that had killed 4 people in contract killings? That was his fucking jailmate. And 18 days before, he said that guy tried to kill him.
But he said but is there any
look
doubt
at that guy?
Yeah,
that is his fucking cellmate. Why would you put a guy who's one of the most high-profile defendants in any case ever in a cell with a hired killer who's a giant gorilla?
But he wasn't in the cell with him that night. He was by himself in the cell that night.
He was the guy who 18 days before Epstein said tried to kill him.
But Epstein tried to kill himself. I don't think there's any doubt about that, right?
Just wanted to chime in that I think it's pretty funny that they're arguing about how Epstein died and not if he died. Recently, Jimmy Dore provided a pretty compelling case that Epstein is still alive. Let's watch him break it down.
So there's been a shocking development in the Jeffrey Epstein saga, and it's almost conclusive proof. Jeffrey Epstein had his prostate removed. And how do we know? Because it's in the Epstein files. Here it is. You have high testosterone and still have a need for Viagra because you don't have a prostate, right? Jeffrey Epstein. Correct. So he didn't have a prostate. Here's another one. A patient, Epstein, Jeffrey. This is from LabCorp. This is in the files. This is from the autopsy of Jeffrey Epstein. His bladder had 5 milliliters of cloudy yellow urine. The prostate is slightly and diffusely enlarged with marked enlargement of the vermilabitanum. The testes are unremarkable. Boy, you don't want to hear that about your testes, do you? Grok, is it possible to grow a replacement prostate? Grok says no, it's currently not.
If what Jimmy laid out is true, then this whole thing is crazier than we thought.
I don't know if there's, I've never seen him say it, but I do know that he said that guy tried to kill him.
And couldn't he have lied about that?
That guy was trying to get money.
Couldn't he have lied about that?
Video outside cell during Jeffrey Epstein's first suicide attempt no longer exists. How weird. Yeah, why would he lie about that? He's in
because he doesn't want to have a
guy who he's already saying this guy's trying to extort him.
Yeah,
he's already saying this guy's trying to get money from him, and this guy is a known killer. He's killed 4 people in contract killings. How did you not know about that?
I will say it's possible.
But hold on, how did you not know about that?
I did know about that.
You knew about the guy being a contract killer?
Well, no,
that
I mean,
was his cellmate?
Yeah, I knew that story, but I mean, he didn't have a cellmate at the night of his death, right? That was one of the mistakes they made, is that because he was supposed to be on suicide watch, he was supposed to have a cellmate, didn't have a cellmate.
I don't know, but 18 days before he did have a cellmate, and 18 days before he said that guy tried to kill him.
But 18 days before he tried to commit suicide.
Michael is hanging on the official narrative here, which kind of makes sense now. While federal officials, including former Attorney General Bill Barr, later pointed to this event as clear evidence of self-harm intent, Epstein himself offered different explanations at the time. Initially, Epstein told officers that his cellmate, Nicholas Tartaglione, had tried to kill him. In subsequent psychiatric evaluations, Epstein denied any interest in ending himself, calling himself a coward who did not like pain. He even suggested the incident might have been a prank gone wrong. Due to a lack of evidence proving self-harm, the incident was eventually expunged from his official record following jail disciplinary proceedings.
That's my understanding.
I don't know if that's true, though. I don't know why they would put him in jail with a contract killer.
Well, I mean, how many?
That's so stupid.
Who's in that jail? Aren't the people in that jail pretty rough?
His cellmate is a contract killer. Why would he be in a cell with a cop who's a contract killer?
I mean, aren't there a lot of
the night Jeffrey Epstein claimed his cellmate tried to kill him? New documents revealed Jeffrey Epstein claimed his cellmate tried to kill him in an incident before his death.
Yeah, but we don't.
Okay, but
we don't know if that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, here I thought only Eddie Bravo or Brian Callen could get Joe this angry. I stand corrected. It's good to see some confrontation on the show. It brings me back to the good old days of the pod.
Yep.
Why are you dismissing it?
I'm not dismissing it, Joe. Look, maybe more evidence will come out. I'm just saying, like, if you look at the evidence we have,
to dismiss it.
No, I'm saying I was confident it was a homicide, and now I'm not.
Were you aware of this?
Yeah, of course, all that stuff.
You were aware that he tried to kill him.
Of course.
You were aware that
he said that.
Well, how come you never brought it up before? You seemed shocked when I brought it up.
Well, because my understanding is it was a suicide attempt 18 days before.
Okay. But if he said this guy tried to kill him 18 days before, why didn't you take that into consideration?
No, it is. I mean, I'm just saying that was all. That was part of. No, when I go,
it doesn't seem like you took it into consideration at all, and you're looking to dismiss it.
I didn't know.
I gotta stop it here, guys. If you enjoyed the conversation, Joe and Michael Schoenberger have this Epstein debate for about 40 minutes on the show. The conversation starts at about 2 hours and 15 minutes into the podcast. Go watch it. Thank you so much.
It's just so fucked, dude. I mean, that dude is looking to sit there and dismiss every fucking decent claim made. Yeah, that's so gross, dude. I didn't know that about the cop, or I didn't know that about his cellmate. Like, his cellmate was a fucking cop that was like, he killed 4 people in contract killings. Like, that's fucked up, dude. That's totally fucked up. Totally fucked up. That's crazy, man. It blows my mind. That dude's sitting there making excuse after excuse after excuse.
Much for watching. Would love to hear from you in the comments below.
I'd like to see that whole fucking that whole argument, because he was pissing old Rogan off. New shoes should be here tomorrow. I guess I'm not subscribed to anybody else. I'm not subscribed to many people on this channel. This dude right here. Said it was a 2 hours something.
Like California.
And just don't be so attached to them.
Right. Don't make them your identity.
Yeah. And that it's actually, there's something really quite.
It's like you want to live a better life. Like if you live as a Christian, you'll have a better life.
His urologist was like, take your erection dysfunction pills and then dog bites man story. You know, what makes it a man bites dog story is like, because he's a pervert. I don't see blackmail coming out of that. And then you get to later and you've got the Bill Gates thing, which doesn't even appear to be from Epstein. It appears to be for Boris. And remember, Boris, the son and whatever, dog bites man story.
We know that there at least implies that he's got dirt on people and that he is doing something with this dirt that he has on Epstein or on Bill Gates, rather.
Although.
So we're very limited in the amount of data that we possess, right? Because we just have emails between him and other people. Inside those emails, we find a lot of creepy shit. We find that one description where he was talking to this woman where she said, I'm investigating a story about an island where they bring children for sex. And he goes, she almost had a heart attack when I told.
Heard secondhand. So with that.
Well, what if he was on the verge of a breakthrough, but this guy steps in and stops funding, and that it does work because it kills all these people that have all this other money and
heard secondhand. Things to see here. With his relationship with the intelligence community, he was at best a contractor financier, which means he's not an important player in deciding covert clandestine operations. It's the head of state.
He said he killed Cold Fusion.
I mean,
he said he killed Pons, his work on Cold Fusion.
I mean, I don't know. Did he? I mean, Cold Fusion, they keep doing it, right? They keep
they haven't done it yet.
Well, I know Carl Page,
but he's saying,
the founder, the brother of.
But he stated that he killed Cold Fusion research
because he cut off funding for it.
Yeah, he manipulated people. I don't know that.
Well,
he say he killed it. Why would he kill it?
Because it didn't work.
Or maybe it did work, and it's problematic that it does work because it kills all these people that have all this other money in various energy modalities.
I go, fusion is like a whole. I mean, the idea that we have we've secretly tapped Cold Fusion and are hiding it for some reason,
or that he was on the way to breaking through to Cold Fusion, and then they killed all of his research.
But why?
You don't think that could be done? Because there's so many people that have money and all these other types of energy.
I just don't buy that you could. First of all, that technology is super difficult. To get nuclear fission was this enormous undertaking, huge numbers of people. The Cold Fusion stuff is really fringe. I mean, it was like, we're going to be in the lab and doing,
But you're not a physicist, so how do you know that?
Well, I mean, I interview a lot of physicists and talk about it. I mean, the big fusion projects are incredibly difficult. They keep announcing advances in them. They can't get them. Cold fusion is not even considered a mainstream fusion project. So to assume that there's some secret, and I just think this is why I have a problem with the whole reverse engineering thing, is I just kind of go, you'd have to have so many people working on it and covering up for such a long time. I don't know how you get away with that.
Well, what if he was on the verge of a breakthrough, but this guy steps in and stops funding and puts some leverage on the university? Clearly, he had dirt on a bunch of people that were at high levels of many universities. That's why a bunch of these guys had to step down. Didn't the head of Harvard step down?
I think it's exaggerating.
Didn't the head of Harvard step down?
Because of him?
Wasn't there a connection between Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, I mean, Larry Summers, you mean? Or
yeah.
Well, Larry Summers was, he had to step down because he made those remarks about women as president. And then he just had to step down as professor. And I say this genuinely as someone that is not a Larry Summers fan. I think it's ugly what he did. It's terrible. He was trying to get advice from Larry Summers about how to bed a Chinese economist, and they were gross in their emails, and it's terrible. But I don't think that you lose a job at Harvard over that. I don't think that Peter Tia should lose his job at CBS over that. We're in Me Too territory.
I understand, and I agree.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. But what I'm saying is clearly he had influence over some very high and powerful people.
He also exaggerated his influence. Like, he took a lot of credit for Santa Fe Institute, which was a lot of other people. I mean, he's really interesting and smart. Like he gave a thing to, Bannon, talking to Bannon about it. That was really interesting. But he was also, Steve Pinker talked about him as a kibitzer, like a kind of a bullshitter. And he was like, we also saw in the files, I think it really overlooked. We saw how he made his money. Like he needed to get he needed to get a deal with the Department of Justice for his client, Ariana de Rothschild. He hires Catherine Rumler, who was Obama's White House chief counsel, and she goes and makes a deal at the Department of Justice, $45 million fine for the Rothschilds, $10 million for Catherine Rumler, $25 million for Jeffrey Epstein. Everyone's like, where did his money come from? Doing deals like that. Like, you realize, I mean, one of the things, Succession actually had a little subplot about it. Like, there's a few people in the world that do these crazy high level deals, like often like mergers and acquisitions, that have these obscene fees because they're taking some tiny percentage. Epstein was operating. I think the other thing we didn't realize is that when you read the files, is the levels at which Epstein was operating. I mean, his social and emotional intelligence is just off the charts, which is often rare among somebody that's that good analytically, someone that really understands like investments in the economy to be so. I mean, he was a master manipulator. So I don't think it's fair to say to people you had an association with him after he's convicted of this crime. Rich guys, look, we have a totally separate system of justice for rich people. I think we've known that for a really long time. It's terrible. I condemn it. We should find solutions to it. That's what Epstein used to get out of it. I don't see any evidence that intelligence helped him. We got other problems. The victims, Virginia Giuffre, she claimed that she had sex with Dershowitz. She then goes, "Oh, I was wrong about that." I mean, there's a lot of those victim testimonials that are untrustworthy. So you get yourself in a situation where you start to put like,
some of them were probably prostitutes.
Yeah. And that's the other one is I did some reporting where we we found a 14-year-old girl who was being trafficked on the streets. She turned 15 in the process of us reporting on it. We're covering these PIs that get the police involved. The police go get her. She's orphaned. She goes back and live with her aunt. She's back on the street, voluntarily back on the street. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's like you go rescue people and they're in that world. So these situations are much more complex than.
It's wild watching these people make these types of excuses for these pieces of shit. Oh yeah, that's it for me though. I'll be back later. I gotta work. Oh, yeah. I gotta work all fucking weekend, so I gotta sleep for like 6 or 7 hours before I go to work. We'll see how the backup thing goes. If it doesn't, I need to look up some stuff on how to reboot my channel, like the content reboot type thing or whatever. Yeah. Fuck Trump and all the Epstein besties. They can all eat shit. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Fuck Donald Trump, and much love to the good people. Jesus. Fuck Donald Trump. So I'm thinking about not putting anything on my main for 30 days, Devin. I'm not sure. I need to look up and see some stuff on it. Because something's clearly like way off over there. Not being able to break like 20 viewers and shit. It's so weird. It's just so weird. But yeah, love y'all. See you later, I'm sure. Deuces.